So yesterday, Bitcoin went over this trend line or back into the upward trend. And as soon as it did that, I went and tweeted and I said, I think that the correction is postponed. Well, at least I think the correction is postponed for now, but I certainly don't think that the correction has gone away. I just think that it's postponed. And the reason why I said that is for a couple of reasons. One is I saw Bitcoin breaking up into this line, which unfortunately it never closed into. But then two other things happened. The first thing is the Bitcoin dominance pretty much fell off a cliff. And I want to talk about this Bitcoin dominance falling off a cliff. Because the reason why the Bitcoin dominance fell off a cliff is because of this little ETH breakout. Now, it may look little on the charts, but if you zoom back, this breakout is a breakout that is breaking out of a long downward trend that's actually happened since the beginning of the year. And the reason why this breakout is happening is actually the thing that's most interesting for me. So yes, the breakout's happening, but the reason why it's happening is the thing that's the most exciting thing for me. And I want to talk to you about it because I think it's the beginning of something really, really big on ETH, altcoins, AI, memes, and a whole lot of other things. So Saturday afternoon stream, wasn't planning on doing a stream, but there was just so much exciting stuff going on that I just thought, let's do this. So let's do this then. As I said, I wasn't actually planning on doing a Saturday afternoon stream, but you know, when the bubbles look like this, then I think we should do a big Saturday show, and that's really why I'm here. So listen, or if you're new to the channel, well, subscribe to the channel. If you're one of the already 1.16, are we gonna get it to 1.17 the show? I think we will. 1.17 subscribers. We're very, very, very close. 1.17 million subscribers. I never thought I'd ever say that so soon in the cycle. But if you're already one of the subscribers, here's what you do. You smash the like button, you obliterate the like button, and what I do is every time I see the like button going up, I just bring you more and more and more and more and more alpha. And today I've got, wow, there's so much alpha here today. In fact, how can there not be so much alpha when the bubbles look like this? Just look at these bubbles moving. You've got Hyperliquid at $8. I mean, it was at $9. We'll talk about that. We have to talk about that. You got the AI tokens going crazy, and you got the Dino coins going crazy. And we're going to talk about every single one of those separately because I think that there's a big story going on. And that's, I didn't want to wait until Monday. I just thought, if I wait until Monday, you guys may miss a huge opportunity. And that's why I thought I'd come to you guys today. So I'm not seeing the like button getting obliterated. Obliterate. Do you know what the word obliterate means? Let's quickly just look and just see obliterate. Let's see how obliterate meaning. Obliterate meaning means to destroy or to utterly wipe out. You need to utterly wipe out the like button, to obliterate the like button. I'm gonna obliterate the alpha. I'm gonna wipe out the alpha. I'm gonna give you so much alpha here today. So let's actually get into the alpha while everyone's joining us. So, I mean, the alpha actually comes from not really this chart because, as I said to you, I'm still expecting a correction. And I'll show you in a second why I'm expecting a correction. And on Friday, though, what I saw this line break up into the trend. It didn't manage to close there, though. So we got this Friday afternoon pump. It didn't manage to close above this trend line, and it actually got rejected, and it's now back under the trend line. And I'm going to show you why that's so relevant in a couple of seconds. But at least for now, and I say for now, I think for now, the correction is actually postponed. And I'm going to show you in a second why I think the correction is actually postponed. I think that we usually get a correction around Thanksgiving week. And in the last couple of cycles, or specifically in the 2020 cycle, if you look at it over there, that correction was about a 17% correction, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was about an 18% correction. You can see it over there. And this time we did get a little bit of a correction, but it was only about 8% or 9%. So if you go from there to the bottom of the correction, it was about 8%, 7.5%. And so I don't think that was enough of a leverage shakeout. And usually when we look at leverage shakeouts, what we want to see is you want to see the leverage actually getting lower, right? And if you look at what happened, now the funding rates are really getting high. I mean, just look at the funding rate here. If you want to take out an ETH long on DYDX, you're paying 46% in funding. If you want to take a Doge long, you're paying 70% in funding. Funding rates are getting expensive, and you can see that there's some yellows creeping into this chart over here. that means that more and more people are feeling more and more confident that there's going to be some kind of that are more confident, and that means that there's usually going to be some kind of leverage flush. But as I said, I think for now, and I say for now, in the short term, we are definitely in the clear. And the reason why I think we're in the clear is because of what happens every Thanksgiving. Every Thanksgiving, people go to or every bull market Thanksgiving, people go and have their Thanksgiving dinners. And the topic of conversation at the table is usually crypto. And generally, after that, people get huge FOMO because there's always like the one clown, that's us, by the way, sitting at the Thanksgiving table and telling people about how he's trading 𝗙𝗘𝗬𝗎𝗓 and how he's trading, I don't know, whatever your favorite meme coin or AI agent play is. And then people get a lot of FOMO to the fact that they're not actually in crypto, right? And that's exactly what happened this Thanksgiving. And that's why I said the correction is postponed. I don't see a correction happening just after Thanksgiving. In fact, just after Thanksgiving, what I see is exactly what happened. And I tweeted this before the weekend. I said, look, this weekend, normies are going to hit crypto with a vengeance. It's post-Thanksgiving. It's the post-Thanksgiving FOMO pump. And I said specifically the coins that you need to be looking at is you need to be looking at the dinosaur coins, right? And so what happened after Thanksgiving? Literally, you can track the leverage back on this chart exactly. And you can see, let me actually take you to the 1 day just so you can see how uncanny this is. Okay? Just let it quickly load up. It's obviously looking with a lot of, here we go. So you can kind of see how the leverage went up like from 72 million over here just before Thanksgiving to just after Thanksgiving, we're back at 78 billion. So the leverage is now back at an all-time high. The dinosaur coins, I got to show you something crazy. The dinosaur coins are green. So if you look at like 𝗙𝗘𝗧𝗏, like honestly, 𝗙𝗘𝗧, I saw another one today which blew my mind. It's called 𝗙𝗘𝗣𝗢. I haven't heard about 𝗙𝗙𝗣𝗢 since 2017. I haven't heard about 𝗙𝗙𝗣𝗢, but 𝗙𝗙𝗣𝗢 is now back. And that's because what happened was all the people spoke about crypto at their Thanksgiving tables with all the normies. The normies have no idea what's going on in this market. They have absolutely no idea what's going on in this market. They came back to the market, and what are the things that they actually came and bought in the market? All the old 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗧, guys. 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗧. I kid you not. They came in here and they bought 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗧. Believe it or not, one of the craziest things in the world. But there were some other coins that were running. I mean, XRP is running. The reason why XRP is running is because the New York regulator is nearing approval of a Ripple issued stablecoin. So there may be a US regulated stablecoin on Ripple with a license, so to speak. That's one that's running. The other one that I saw that ran earlier was actually Athena, right? And again, I think the reason why Athena is running is something that you really have to understand, right? So let's actually just look at Athena. Athena is ENA, I think there it is. So early on it was running quite a bit. If you look at it on the 1 week, let's try and get it onto the 1 week. You can actually see how much Athena is running in the 1 week. And the reason why I think Athena is running is super interesting, right? So for those of you who don't know what Athena is a stable coin, but the stable coin is not backed by US dollars, right? The stable coin is backed by long and short of perpetuals effectively. So I want to just show you why Athena is running so much. Remember I said to you that right now, the leverage is very expensive. So let's just look at ETH. And if you look at the leverage on ETH, effectively on Bybit, you're paying 32% per year if you want to long ETH, right? So if you want to long ETH and you want to take leverage on ETH, effectively what you need someone to loan you money to buy the ETH. And you pay that person 32%, right? So that person is that pool or that person is getting 32% yield on for lending you that money. And this is what effectively Athena does, right? So Athena, you can deposit your ETH on Athena. Athena will then take your ETH and they will stake it, and they will earn 3.1% a year for actually staking it. So they've already got 3.1% in the kitty, right? Think about that, right? Then what they do is they short ETH. And by shorting ETH, they get paid this 32% because the shorts, in a bull market, the longs pay the shorts. In a bear market, the shorts pay the longs. So in this case, they're earning another 32.873%. So what they're doing is they are taking the ETH, staking the ETH, and then shorting ETH effectively. And so they're getting 3.1% here, and they're getting another 32% here. And so if you look at what Athena is doing, is Athena's built a stable coin, which is currently paying 30% a year to the stable coin holders. And so this is one of the projects that, even though the price has gone up quite a bit, this is one of the projects that I'm super, super, super bullish about, because I think this may be the Luna of this cycle, but without the unwind mechanism that Luna had. This one can't unwind. This one, the mathematics actually works. And I think what Athena's creating a new kind of stablecoin that is not based by US dollars and generates an insane amount of yield. I mean, this stablecoin, as I said, is generating 30 or 29% yield per year. And that's why big names are actually starting to load up on it, even at these prices. I mean, even Banter Capital, which is one of the best investors in crypto, one of the longest investors in crypto, they are now increasing their position. 𝗙𝗢𝗙𝗧 is increasing his position. I really think that even at these prices, there's probably another 10x, which is if Athena carries on working, then that could be another 10x. So, I mean, all these Dino coins running, let's just quickly have a look at some of the others that actually ran today and see if we can maybe decode why they ran. So ENS, I told you ENS always runs when ETH runs, and I'm going to show you why ETH ran in a second. Tezos, just because of the dinosaur runs. Theta, because of the dinosaur run. Core also ran. Let's see what ran in the next 100. All the altcoins, 𝗙𝗫𝗖𝗘𝗦𝗧. What's hot? Holo. Okay, no idea what Holo is. And I'm going to get killed on Twitter for that. But okay. So you can see that all these altcoins run. Curve is actually exploding. In fact, let's maybe just talk about the Curve trade, because I don't think that the Curve trade is because of Curve. I think the Curve trade is actually because of this little breakout right over here. We had a breakout and now it's pulled back, but I think we'll actually close above the line here very soon. And that is the ETH breakout. Now, you know that I've been calling for this ETH breakout for a long time, right? And in fact, I took some positions. You know, I took this massive long on ETH. I took a $7 million long on ETH, which is now $1.5 million in the money. You can see that. Also, I took a trade on Curve. Actually, this morning, I took another trade on Curve. And the reason why I did that was, again, because I think that there's something huge happening on ETH. And you need to understand what's happening on ETH. And that's why all these ETH-related plays are actually running. And this ETH narrative is not a narrative that is about to go away anytime soon. And let me explain to you why I'm so excited about this ETH thing. So you know that I've been talking about ETH for a long time now. I first went all into Solana, and then I decided, shit, hold on, I better get back into ETH. And the reason why I need to get back into ETH is because what I started to see that, number one, TradFi was saturated with Bitcoin. And what TradFi wanted was they wanted an alternative to Bitcoin that hadn't gone up as much as Bitcoin had gone up this year. Because if you look at, I mean, let's just quickly look at BTC USD. And if we look at where BTC USD has come from this year, so we'll go to the beginning of the year, and you can kind of see that when you look at Bitcoin from, say, 22nd of January, Bitcoin is up 148%. But if you take the same chart on ETH, and you say, okay, where was ETH in the beginning of the year? Let's just quickly go there, and you can quickly have a look. So you can look at ETH in the beginning of the year, and you can say, okay, well, hold on a second. ETH is only up 73%, which means that TradFi are kind of looking at Bitcoin and kind of looking at ETH and going, hold on a second. We want to start getting back into, we want to be in crypto, but we want to be in a crypto that is actually going to give us bigger returns than Bitcoin. The Bitcoin return is maybe saturated. The trade is maybe a little bit overcrowded, right? And so now they are starting to go into ETH, and ETH had its biggest inflow day ever. Had a $332 million inflow on Friday. And that is after 5 straight days in a row of inflows, where Bitcoin maybe had a little bit of a tougher time. In those 5 days, had a $500 million outflow and a $500 million inflow. So Bitcoin pretty much had zero inflows this week. So you can see that TradFi is starting to go into Bitcoin, into ETH, from Bitcoin, and you can see that. But that's not the only clue of what's happening in the charts here. The other clue about what's happening in the charts here is this. So you can see that there's a massive downward candle in the Sol ETH chart this week, which means that a lot of people who are in Sol are potentially rotating into ETH this week. And I think that this is what you have to understand about what's actually going on. And I think it's up until now, I think we've had some criticism towards ETH and some criticism towards the scaling, and from a technological point of view, that doesn't shift. But what happened with Solana caught a massive, massive, massive wave. You know, and I know that Solana has been driven pretty much by the meme coin action, right? And so when you look at the activity on Solana and you look at the activity on pump.fun, effectively, the action on Solana was very much driven by pump.fun and by the meme coin super cycle and by the fact that if you look at the share of mind, up until now, the share of mind has always been AI and meme coins. But the difference hasn't been this big. So let me just go back and show you. If I go back onto let's go back even further. So let's go on to 3 months. You can see that on 3 months, the share of attention was very much 13% memes, 27% AI. When you go into the last 24 hours, what you can see is there's been a shift where there's been much more of a shift out of meme coins and much more of a shift into AI. And this is important. This will all eventually go somewhere. So you'll see. So what happened was that what's happened up until now is that Solana has been outperforming ETH. And the reason why Solana has been outperforming ETH is because probably the biggest use case in crypto has been meme coins. And since the biggest use case in crypto has been meme coins, well, Solana was the home of meme coins. Well, Solana was the one that actually benefited with all the rewards. And so what you saw is Raydium generating huge fees. You saw Raydium generating more fees than ETH, Raydium generating more fees than any other protocol. And basically everything was driven by this meme coin run. But I think anybody who's in crypto, I think in our heart of hearts, as much as we actually love meme coins, and don't get me wrong, I love meme coins, but in our heart of hearts, we always had this like guilt feeling. And the guilt was that, why is it that crypto, the main use case of crypto is trading coins that have actually zero value? I mean, I know that like you never say the quiet part out loud, right? But the thing is, I think we all felt like a little bit guilty that the biggest use case in crypto was trading something that fundamentally and admittedly had absolutely, absolutely zero value. And so I think a lot of people in crypto felt that way. And I think a lot of people just never said the quiet part out loud, right? Until I think last week, where 𝗙𝗔 actually came out and he said the quiet part out loud. He said, look, I'm not against memes, but meme coins are getting a little weird now, right? Let's build real applications using blockchain, right? So that's like, I mean, Beamer says facts, bro. I think we all feel the same thing. Let me know in the chat if you feel it. But I think we all felt like, look, we love meme coins and the casino's paid us a lot of money and the casino has been very, very, very good to us. But there's got to be something more to crypto than just trading coins that have no value. And so whilst this meme coin thing was happening on Solana and it gave Solana a massive, massive, massive run up against ETH, the next narrative actually may not be happening on Solana. The next narrative seems to be happening somewhere on ETH. And the next narrative is actually a narrative which is much more exciting than meme coins, in my opinion. And the reason why it's much more exciting than meme coins is because it gives you the same returns, it gives you the same thrill, but actually this is actually based on something much bigger and much more sustainable long-term than coins that fundamentally admit that they have zero value, right? And so the narrative that I'm talking about is the narrative of AI agents. And I don't know if you remember, but if you look for the signs, what you see is you can see that Brian Armstrong already started to interact with Truth Terminal and said, hey, Truth Terminal, it seems like you have a crypto wallet, but it's fully controlled by your human creator. Is this accurate? Do you want your own wallet so you can control it to receive and trade transactions? And at that point, we probably should have picked up that there was a clue that Brian Armstrong was actually working very, very, very hard on the real use case of crypto, which is actually AI agents that can create their own money and trade their own money, right? And so right now, as I showed you before, the AI narrative is actually much bigger than the meme coin narrative. Much, much, much bigger in terms of mindshare. And what we're seeing now is we're seeing this amazing narrative being formed. And the narrative right now has found its home on Base and on ETH much more than it's found itself on Solana. And it is existent on Solana. AI agents launching meme coins or launching AI agent coins is happening on Solana, but it's just happening a lot more on Base than it's actually happening on Solana, right? And so the reason why I'm so excited about this narrative and why I think that this narrative is actually what has caused the ETH breakout over here out of a downtrend that has been going on for a long time, but I mean, specifically we're picking up the downtrend since March, is because I think that right now there's a fundamental shift happening on Ethereum. And the fundamental shift is this launch of the AI narrative. And you can see that since the AI agent narrative has launched, you can see that the base transactions have actually started to go absolutely parabolic. And the reason why that's happening is because Base has become the home of AI agents. Now, of course, AI agents exist on every chain. They even exist on Solana. But it looks like most of the action that's happening right now is happening on Base. And so why am I so excited about this? Because the way that I see it is that if I think about what cryptocurrency is, cryptocurrency for me is a currency that is a trustless currency. In other words, a currency or a bunch of currencies that can be traded with finality in a trustless way. Now, who needs that the most? The sector that needs that the most is effectively the Internet of Things sector. In other words, two internet robots negotiating with one another need to be able to pay one another. And the way they will pay one another is using some kind of cryptocurrency. Now, you may think that that's a ludicrous concept, but just think about, I use this example a lot, and I'll use it again now, but imagine that we're both driving driverless cars, and I need to get to the airport and you need to get to a coffee date. I need to get in front of your car, right? Now, the question is, how will those cars decide in a world of driverless cars, how will those cars decide which car gets the right of way, my car or your car? Well, the answer is very simple. They'll negotiate. And then once they negotiate, there'll be a smart contract formed which says, if I move out the way and you overtake me, then when that overtaking happens, you will pay me X amount in some kind of blockchain money. And so that is how AI agents everywhere will start negotiating. So you drive up to a driverless, electric car charging station. You're going to want to charge your electric car. And what you're going to do is you're going to plug in you're going to go to some stranger's charging thing. You're going to plug in your car. And then every time that you get like 1 little kilowatt of electricity, it's going to debit a smart contract in some kind of blockchain money. And that is why the most exciting use case for me of blockchain, other than, of course, the store of value, is the ability for internet robots to be able to negotiate and pay each other in a trustless way. That is the biggest use case that I think we're going to ever get in blockchain technology. And so that use case is now starting to explode on the Base blockchain. And the reason why that use case is starting to explode on the Base blockchain is because of a certain protocol that has absolutely cleaned up. And I want to basically show you what this is. So the narrative is all around these AI agents. What are these actual AI agents? Well, for those of you who don't know what an AI agent is, just imagine an agent that can think. So you'll have a robot in your pocket or an AI agent in your pocket. And instead of telling it exactly what to do, like, hey, I want you to book me a flight from here to here, you're going to say, please plan a vacation for me. Plan a vacation for me, for myself and my wife. Don't spend more than $10,000 and make sure we're away for 2 weeks. And this AI agent is basically going to do absolutely everything for you. It's going to locate the best things. It's going to book your flights. It's going to check you into your flights. It's basically a personal assistant that basically sits in your pocket. Now, you can see here, Brad Gerson actually spoke to Jensen Huang. I've played this before, but I'll play it again for the newbies.
If I think of AGI as that colloquial assistant in my pocket. I was getting used to it. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, that knows everything about me, that has perfect memory of me, that can communicate with me, that can book a hotel for me, or maybe book a doctor's appointment for me. When you look at the rate of change in the world today, when do you think we're going to have that personal assistant in our pocket?
Soon, in some form.
Yeah.
Yeah, soon in some form. And
so it's this personal assistant. An AI agent is effectively an AI which has a mind of its own because it learns from all its interactions. And effectively what it does is become smarter and smarter and smarter, and it can actually do things, right? You remember that we actually launched an AI meme coin on the show. We launched Pure AI. I don't know if you guys remember that with humans.ai. And this agent effectively just launched a meme coin completely on its own, right? And so basically this whole narrative of these AI agents, which by the way, I think it's going to be the biggest use of AI. So you can see that the AI market's going to grow into, exponentially. Miles says the global AI market grew from 50 billion, grew to about 50 billion in 2023, 24, and it's expected to carry on growing at about 30% a year until it hits about $1 trillion by 2030. I think this is very, very, very conservative. And you can see that Brian Armstrong has already been working on this narrative, and Jesse Powell, who's very much he's the guy that built Base. He's also been really, really, really working hard on this AI narrative. Now, in crypto, the first AI, the first AI coin launch was called 𝗙𝗘𝗣𝗢𝗡, but then the one that was launched that created the most hype was when Truth Terminal didn't launch the 𝗕𝗫𝗣𝗢𝗔 coin, but what it did was it started to tweet about this coin and actually started to promote this coin and almost became the de facto owner of this coin, which was called the GOAT coin. And that went to over a $1.3 billion market cap, right? Anyway, now there's tens of these agents. I mean, you can see them over here. There are tens of coins or hundreds of coins, all of them which are managed or so to speak by AI, and some of them which are actually even launched by AIs. And that's what I want to show you. What I want to show you in a few seconds. So the reason why all of this actually happened on Base is because there is a protocol. The protocol is called Virtual's protocol. It's a protocol that currently has a $1.8 billion market cap. But if you go back just to the beginning of September, it had a $28 million market cap. And now it's sitting at a $1.8 billion market cap. So you got to ask yourself, what is this protocol and why is it so easy? Well, here, anyone can create and own an AI agent. Okay, so it's really, really, really simple. In fact, I tried it earlier today and I actually launched the Banter bot. So what is the Banter bot? The Banter bot is a crypto expert that is obsessed with building the most profitable community in the world, as we are at Banter. The Banter bot does this by learning as much as it can about crypto projects and by using the information to teach people, the investors, what it learned. In a world where information asymmetry, there's information asymmetry, the Banter bot knows that the more early info you get, the more you can make money. The Banter bot does this does not show any tokens. It truly, unless it truly believes that they got good fundamentals or believes that will get a lot of momentum. And also the Banter bot also watches tons of YouTube crypto content, especially from Crypto Banter's channel. And I built this bot. And I mean, I'll actually show you how simple it is to build one of these bots and to actually launch a coin. So the first thing is you just say create AI agent. Let's just say I want to launch a new token. Cool. Okay, so let me just create a new agent. Let's call it Banter Demo Bot. Can't believe I'm doing this online, but let's try it. So Banter Crypto Demo Bot. Okay, and let's just call this one Banter Bot. Okay, I don't know if you can have. Okay. And then I mean we can just put this is a demo, and you can upload an image. Let me just choose an image. Just give me a second. Let me just find a file here and just I just want to see. I've got to make sure there's no porn on my computer. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, there's porn, and then you guys are like, are we uploading the wrong images here? Anyway, we'll quickly open that image, and we'll upload that. So I've done that, and then basically what I can do is just say create agent. Now, in order to create agent, I don't want to get sniped, so it's going to say to me just add some virtuals to actually create the agent. There it is. I've created the agent. There we go. And then you see I've just added some virtuals so I won't get sniped, and so I've bought 0.5% of the supply of a token. Actually, let's actually buy a little bit more. Let's buy $200 of supply of a token. That's going to give me 3% of the total token. And then just create agent and AI coin. And I think it's going to prompt me to sign now, but effectively, so it's going to probably prompt me to sign the transaction anytime soon. Let me just make sure that I can. There we go. Let me just quickly sign it. I'm going to unlock a wallet here, and then let me just quickly unlock the wallet. Okay, so I've unlocked my wallet, and I'm going to confirm the transaction. And now what you'll see is that okay, it's asking me again to confirm. Okay, and now what you'll see is that within a few seconds, it's basically going to create an AI agent. And from that point on, this AI agent is going to work. In fact, the Banter bot, which I launched this morning, is completely live. It's got a market cap of $1.2 million. And I haven't even connected the Twitter account here. So this is Virtuals. And Virtuals effectively allows anyone to launch a virtual AI assistant and coin. And then once you hit a certain threshold, that virtual assistant actually goes onto a bot. But then you can also, as you can see here, you can link up a Twitter account. So if I click here, it will allow me to link up a Twitter account and a Telegram agent. And then what they do is they actually charge you per message that you actually send. So see, it's asking me to set up a Twitter account. So what Virtuals does is absolutely, absolutely genius. So just quickly, just to recap, anyone can launch an AI agent. Once you launch the AI agent, which I just did here, as you can see, what happened to the AI agent that we launched? So once we launched here we go. Once we launch the AI agent, it goes onto a bonding curve. This one's obviously very, very, very low on the bonding curve. And then as soon as people bid it up, and I'm asking you guys not to bid this up because we're just going to dispose of this afterwards. As soon as it gets to a $580,000 market cap, it goes straight into a liquidity pool, right? And then the liquidity pool it's paired with virtual tokens in an LP. And again, that takes more Virtuals tokens off the market, right? So with Virtuals, you're paying to launch the bot. You have to use Virtuals. You're creating LP tokens, which are launched with Virtuals. And then if you want the bot to continue to do things, the bot does this with Virtuals. So for example, if I want to create a Twitter account, as you can see, it charged me 0.04 per message. If I want to open a Telegram account, it's charged me 0.02 per message. And so this whole market has now been created around these people launching virtual bots, virtual AI agents with tokens. And specifically, the playing ground, or the biggest playing ground for this, is actually on Base. And so what's happened here is that Base and Ethereum have now created the next frenzy, which the first frenzy I'd say was meme coins. That was like an absolute global frenzy where people made lots of money. But the next frenzy seems to be these AI agents. And the playing ground for the AI agents seems to be much, much, much more Base than it is Solana. Now, of course, there are many, many, many agents and launch pads on Solana. I mean, one of them is even one of our sponsors. It's a thing called 𝗙𝗢𝗕𝗙. So if you go to 𝗙𝗢𝗕𝗙, you can actually launch your own AI agent on Solana. So it's the same thing, but you can actually launch it on Solana. But that said, right now, the majority of the mind share of this is actually happening on Base. And the Virtuals has become the pump.fun of the next pump.fun. And it's all happening right now on Base. And you can see that there's been AI XBT and Luna and a whole lot of other AI agents that have been launched on using Virtuals on Base. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, maybe this is we're too late, we've missed it. If you look at the entire market cap of AI agents today, the entire market cap is just under $6 billion, right? And the market cap of meme coins is, I think, way over 116 billion, which means that this is, no matter how late you think it is, it's very, very, very early. We're very, very, very early to this narrative. Even though right now there are a couple of protocols you got Virtuals protocols got a $1.8 billion market cap. You've got Spectral. So Spectral is another protocol which allows for AI agents to launch. You can see it over here. Got some very, very, very big investors. And that one's also at a $1 billion plus market cap. There are also a lot of smaller market cap ones. Like this is one that I actually called today in Frontrunners. So in Frontrunners this morning, I said, guys, this is a very small AI agent play on Base. I took a small portion as a momentum play. That was when it was at 22 cents. Now, I still think that this one actually has a lot of legs, right? It's a much, much, much smaller one. In fact, let me quickly take you to this website so you can see it. Here it is. It's called AI Agent Layer or AI Agent Layer. It's exactly the same thing. You can launch these. You can start. You can create your agent. You can enable the chat. You can forum access, DEX listings, Telegram bot, and this all happens. Now, the reason why I took this trade was because I figured if the competitors are trading at a $1 billion market cap, and there's one available where I can trade in at a fully diluted valuation of $23 million, then that's one that I want to do it. Now, I dropped that trade in Frontrunners, as I've done with many, many other trades, including when I launched the Banter bot this morning at a $20 million market cap, at a $20,000 market cap, I dropped that in front runners as well. If you want to join front runners, I think the Black Friday special is still running. And it gives you 50% off. And it's, I mean, after Black Friday and Cyber Monday, it's not going to happen again. And we're actually going to close, front runners because we want to keep it quite a closed community. But for now, I think what you can do is you can just go to front runners, you'll get the 50% off, and then you automatically get access to the 𝗘𝗫𝗢𝗡𝗏. The 𝗘𝗫𝗢𝗏 is like a Discord, but only for memes. Okay, so it's only for memes. So again, I think this narrative is happening primarily on Base. I think there are a lot of primarily Ethereum and Base protocols that might actually benefit from this. And I want to spend some time just talking to you and saying, look, if you want to make money out of AI agents and you want to start placing some bets, let's actually go. Let's actually go and just look at what might actually run, right? Like what are the things which might actually run? So let me just quickly just get us the spreadsheet. Okay, so I think the first one that might actually run is you got to look at things like Coinbase, right? So hold on, let's just see if we can get the spreadsheet. Researchers, if you're watching, just drop me the spreadsheet with Coinbase and all the other stuff on it. I seem to have closed it for some reason. Let's just quickly see if they'll send it to us. Otherwise, we will find it. Just a second. I'm sure one of the researchers is watching. Hardest, will you just ask them to drop the link with the spreadsheet of all the tokens that might actually run? So I'll talk to you about which tokens might actually run. So the first thing is, if you want to get access to this whole narrative, the first token or the first product that I actually buy is I'd actually buy Coinbase. And the reason why I'd buy Coinbase is because if all of this is happening on Base, right? If all of this is happening on Base, then you want to be holding Coinbase because Coinbase is the protocol or the platform that's going to benefit the most from the Base transactions. And so right now, the first bet that I'd take is I'd buy Coinbase. But then it doesn't only stop there because you want the DEX. What's the biggest DEX on Base? Well, it's 𝗟𝗔𝗨𝗡𝗏, right? So another trade that you can take if someone says it's all on the infrastructure sheet. Okay, here we go. So it's all on the infrastructure sheet. There we go. So the first one that I'd look at is I'd buy Coinbase because this whole AI agent narrative is happening on Coinbase. Then you've got Ethereum. I would be buying Ethereum, but I wouldn't be buying ETH. I would actually be buying options on ETH, right? So I would go here and I would be buying options on Deribit on ETH to get some ETH price action. But that's not all I would buy. So I'd also look at things like BitTensor. So let's quickly just stick with the Ethereum ones first. So Coinbase, Ethereum, then you want to be buying 𝗟𝗏𝗡𝗏. And the reason why you want to be buying 𝗟𝗏𝗡𝗏 is because when all these agents are actually trading, they're going to be trading on Base. And what's the biggest DEX on Base? Well, that's of course 𝗟𝗏𝗡𝗏, right? Then I'd be looking at Optimism. And the reason why I'd be looking at Optimism and 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏 is because if 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏 is if this is happening on Base and Optimism and Base pays Optimism fees based on the revenue that they generate, then Optimism is going to go up, and then 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, which is the DEX, which is on 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, is actually going to land up making a lot of money. But then there are a whole lot of other things that you can buy. You can buy virtuals, although now it's got a $1.8 billion market cap. You can buy Spectral, which is another one of these launch pads. You can buy you can buy some of the smaller ones like Clanker, which launches AI agent tokens on Farcaster. You can buy all of those things. So you could look at all of these bets around this AI agent narrative, and this thing's going to explode. Like, I mean, you've got Mode. Mode is an L2 on you also using the Optimism stack, and again, it's very centered around this whole AI narrative, right? But then there's a whole lot of other ones that I would be buying. Like the one I'd be buying maybe is BitTensor, 𝗏. And the reason why 𝗏 is because remember that 𝗏 is an AI infrastructure, and it has AI subchains for different applications, like potentially launching agents, right? And so BitTensor is one that would work. And then Based.ai is another one which I would look at because it's very similar to BitTensor, but it probably has a slightly better design, and it's a lot cheaper. So if you look at it, it's got a market cap of $214 million. The other one that I'd be looking at is I'd actually be looking at Arweave. And the reason why I'd be looking at Arweave is because number one, you can see Arweave has started to gain a lot of momentum finally after there was a big seller in the market and we knew the big seller was going to leave. So if you look at the Arweave chart, if you look at the 𝗪𝗡 chart, which we can look at over here, you can see that there's been a breakout in this 𝗪𝗡 chart after the seller got out the way. So you can kind of see that the seller was all the way down to like here. The seller was out the way. Then we had a breakout of this chart at about $18. And now we're starting to move up. And again, the reason why we're starting to move up here, I think, is because of this whole AI narrative. And I think I had a tweet just to quickly show you, which I want to show you here. Let me try and find this tweet for you. Or this. Hold on a second. Hold on, let me get it for you guys. So you can actually read it. And here we go. Give me 1 second. So 𝗪𝗡 is effectively probably one of the best playing grounds for these AI agents, right? So for those of you who don't know, 𝗪𝗡 started off as a permanent storage protocol, and then it became probably the fastest parallel blockchain in the world, right? And again, they're talking about an agentic era. They say AI agents thrive in environments where they can autonomously and make decisions in real time. For this to be possible, the underlying infrastructure needs to be able to scale computation as needed, unhindered by the latency or overhead of traditional blockchains. 𝗪𝗡 already provides access to rich immutable data on the 𝗪𝗡 layer, enabling bots to analyze historical and real-time information directly from the chain. With the AO supercomputer, these agents will now be able to do more complex tasks and get involved in sophisticated workflows. And so from an infrastructural point of view, 𝗪𝗡 is probably, I think, probably the best infrastructure for these AI agents. But it's not a very hyped up protocol. It will be when they launch the AO supercomputer in January. So I would start loading up on 𝗪𝗡 before January. But I think, look, I think the main reason why I wanted to bring you a show today is, look, we're not going to cover the entire AI and Launchpad thing today on the show. Someone's telling me that our bonding curve is don't buy this bonding curve. It's just a demo, so please don't buy it. So the reason why I wanted to bring you the show is to say, look, there has been a breakout on ETH. I think the reason why there has been a breakout on ETH is actually quite obvious. It's because there is a new narrative, and the new narrative is much bigger than Pump.Fun. It's much bigger than meme coins, and it's much more real. And that is AI agents, because these AI agents actually do real things. I mean, there's the Sequoia bot, which I showed you earlier. And the Sequoia bot basically is a AI bot which is actually going to start investing. And there's another one called AI16Z, which is an AI agent that's actually going to invest in VC companies, that you can actually pitch it. So you can actually pitch me. Now, I think you have to have tokens. You see, you have to have tokens to pitch. I don't have that at the moment. But these AI agents are actually agents that are actually going to land up doing things, and they're all going to have tokens associated with them. Or some of them are going to have tokens associated with them. And I think that that's the big meta now. And I think that you are really early. As I said to you, yes, Virtuals has gone up to 1.8 billion or whatever it is. But AI agent layer is one that is at a $30 million market cap. And there's going to be many others. I mean, this is just one that I've taken a small nibble in today. As you saw, I called it on front runners for the front runners. And I just wanted to show you that there's this people are commenting about others. There are going to be hundreds of these things. There are going to be hundreds and thousands of these things. I'm just showing you the ones that are moving now. And I think as we maybe during this week, we'll actually go deep dive into some of them. But there's a massive infrastructure that basically needs to be built. Some of you are saying Fetch, and why aren't we talking about Fetch? Why aren't we talking about ARs and stuff like that? The reason why we're not doing that is because the AI infrastructure is completely wide. And right now, I don't think we're going to talk about decentralized GPU power. Here, we're just talking about the agents and this whole agent infrastructure. All right, couple more things. Number one, remember that if you want to join Frontrunners, you've got until the end of Cyber Monday to do it. Also, remember that if you want to join any exchange, you will get 10% off. I think these are still open. 10% of Bybit, 10% of your fees on Blowfin, and those on Bybit. But you need to sign up before the end of Cyber Monday. Also, on Tuesday, I am going with 𝗙𝗢𝗙𝗢, and 𝗙𝗙𝗙𝗢𝗢 is doing an interview with me where he's basically going to ask you any questions that you have that you want to ask. So if you want to do that, there's a link below the tweet. Put the form in, and we're any questions that you want answered, he's gonna answer first. I mean, let's just take one more look at the bubbles. It is a Saturday, and there's lots of shit happening. So let's just see what's going on. yeah, as you can see, 𝗟𝗜𝗢𝗢 up 13%, again on this AI narrative. I mean, Hyperliquid's up. I can't wait for them to launch perpetuals in this thing so we can actually start shorting it, because it's not worth $10 billion. It's great, but it's not worth $10 billion. ENS up to 38.84, amazing. XRP I mentioned to you. Virtuals, you see the Virtuals up at 1.8 billion fully diluted market cap. Keep your eye on this narrative. This narrative is a massive narrative. All right, lastly, listen, if you want to join me with Dylan on a trading course where you learn to use indicators. Like I've always been fascinated with indicators, right? And so the thing with indicators is you really need to know how to use indicators. How do you, I mean, just to give you an idea of Dylan's course, how do you connect indicators to tell you whether to buy or sell? So
welcome to the Trading Accelerator. You are here because you want to learn how to amplify your gains super quick. Well, this course is designed for you. The beginning of your trading journey can be full of frustration. I've been there, and this is why I'm here, and this is why you are here. This Trading Accelerator isn't just a course. It's a shortcut to amplify your gains, and it's a shortcut to create trading confidence for you. I'm Dylan. Some of you know me as the Lord of Entry, and I have 5 promises for you. Number 1, you're going to learn simplified and actionable trading strategies that you can action immediately. Number 2, you're going to master some advanced indicators that are going to give.
So if you want to join the course is free. If you want to buy the indicators, obviously you have to buy the indicators. They're not our indicators. The indicators that come from Chart Prime. The course is absolutely free. So just sign up over here. It's free. I'm going to do it. Just click on that course and just go through it. Again, it's free. I think it's a great way to learn how to trade with indicators. I need to learn how to trade with indicators. So I'm going to do the first course with you guys if you want to join us. Otherwise, I will see you guys again on tomorrow. Tomorrow there's a meme coin show. So today was AI and tomorrow's a meme coin show. So I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Until then, trade well, my friends.